We're going to be talking to Brady Hoke coming up shortly. In case you missed it, made some changes to his staff. Some of these, at least one of these moves was rumored for some time. Mark Smith moving up to coach the defensive line that had been out there making the rounds on message boards and whatnot, Twitter, for a little while now. That was confirmed, but the other moves weren't out there publicly. You had Greg Madison. He's slid back off the line of scrimmage now, will coach all of the linebackers. You have Roy Manning, who was coaching rushes and strong side ends. Now he slides back and he takes over corners. And that frees Kurt Mallory up to coach safety. So some moving around, some rearrangement on the defensive side of the ball to bring that position back up to where they want it to be, where they hope it will be coming up this season. And I'm going to talk to Brady about that coming up. And joining us now, as he will tomorrow. By the way, I'm going to be with Brady tomorrow because he's going to be judging this polar plunge event.
Yeah, 30 and chilly, shorts and T-shirt weather for Brady Hoke.
Yeah, so exactly. If I see Brady Hoke in the coat, something is wrong. Brady, how you doing this morning?
Doing great, guys. How are you?
Doing great. Well, Coach, we can, let's jump right into it. You make these moves yesterday, and you said you met with Greg Madison, and he determined that it was of benefit to the defense for him to take over the linebackers, to coach from the middle of the defense. Explain to us why. What was the thought process there?
Well, like anything in life, you evaluate everything that you're doing. And, we did that, and obviously we brought Doug Nussmeier in, and defensively as we took time and thought about it, and then Greg and I obviously have an awful lot of respect for each other. We talked about what to do on the defensive side of the ball, and really felt one of the things I felt was getting him back in the middle of the defense, where when you're doing your different drill work, your inside drill, your 7-on-7, he's got better eyes. Obviously, we tape everything and we look at everything, but I think having your coordinator in a position in the middle of the defense. He's coached linebackers for a lot of different years. In fact, when we coached together at Western Michigan, he was the inside linebacker coach and I was the D-line coach. So I just feel for us as a defensive staff, for him as the coordinator, it just makes more sense. And, we're excited about it. The kids are excited about it, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, so Brady, that obviously shifts some other guys. Starting on first, it moves Mark Smith to the defensive line. He's listed as a D-line coach. And so, his experience there kind of talk about that transition. But the other part that really stuck out is I didn't see your name as coaching a position. So what does that mean for you? Are you not coaching defensive line anymore? Are you going to be moving around? What is Brady Hoke going to be coaching this year, other than the team, obviously?
I'm still going to be helping out with the front. I'm not going to not get away from it totally. I enjoy working with those kids every day. I like their mentality. We got some great kids in there who are working awful hard. And with Mark was a defensive line coach for 16, 17 years. And that's how I met Mark originally, working the Michigan camp. And so for him, it's just going back home to another position. I know those guys are excited. Ernie Lawson will help him out. And then I'm going to be still a guy who's going to be doing some things with those guys on a daily basis. So I'm not getting away from it, but at the same time, it will also allow me to do some other things when I need to.
Gotcha. We're talking to Brady Hoke this morning here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. So now Roy moves back to the secondary to coach corners. Now, Coach, it's not uncommon for a coach to coach a position that he's neither played nor coached before. But I'm curious, the challenges there, kind of list those, and how do you speed up the learning curve, so to speak, when a guy is taking over a position that he hasn't coached or played before?
Well, yeah, there's no doubt. I'm sure some people say, well, how do you do that? Well, look, I was a linebacker and coached linebackers and became a defensive line coach. Roy, our first year as a graduate assistant, coached O-line, and then at Cincinnati coached the running backs. And the number one thing is being a teacher and being able to communicate. And in this day and age of football, with the spread offenses, you're having sub-personnels in the game, nickels or dimes, and all that kind of stuff. That's a lot to take for one coach. And did some research on it, talked to a lot of different coaches across the country about how they configure their secondary. And then, you look at the National Football League model, and, they have a corners coach and a safeties coach in most places. So I think this gives Roy a great opportunity, and he's such a good teacher and has great relationships with the kids, and they have so much respect for him. I think this is really going to be good for us as a defense and us as a team. Kurt will handle the inside two guys in the back end, the two safeties, and I think that allows him to do a great job because of the adjustments that those guys make. So really, I think it's a real plus for us. Jerry Milling, who's a graduate assistant, will help Greg a little bit at the linebacker position because Greg will have all three of them. And we've done that here before with a graduate assistant, with helping out with the Sam, and Jerry's done a great job for us.
I recall, I want to say a couple of years ago now, it really seemed like the secondary dynamic was a little similar, not totally. Obviously, you didn't have another secondary coach, but it really seemed like Aubrey, when he was here, kind of really helped out with the corners. I remember talking to those guys. I remember talking to Mal about it back at that time, and that having another guy to really, really kind of have some of that focus seemed to kind of help. Is this kind of a look back, kind of a return to that kind of dynamic for you guys?
Well, I really think, Aubrey did, especially the second year, that he was with us. I think, and Aubrey being a little older, playing the position back there, and also, being a little older of a guy, I think there was, a lot of the mental pieces of the defense the first year, but the second year, I think Aubrey really helped out and did a nice job. And talking to some of the National Football League guys, and some of my brother being one of those guys, they've always had, when he was with the Texans and in Chicago, there's always two guys in the back end, and it just so happens he's always been the corner guy. So he's been in town. He spent some time with us and spent some real quality time with Roy about different aspects of playing corner, and from ground up, A to Z, if you want to call it that, and the teaching and what you want to do.
Yeah, so obviously working with your brother, that's huge. I imagine that is that a big part of it? Is Roy going around doing the clinic thing with various coaches and that kind of deal?
Yeah, he did that right after recruiting was over. He went down to Indy, and then my brother came here, and I know him and Aubrey have talked regarding some of that secondary play. So we're excited about it. I tell you, the kids are really excited about it. And it's going to be something I think that's going to be great for us as a program.
We're talking to Brady Hoke for a few minutes more here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. So, Coach, I remember last year, Coach Madison kind of saying, hey, I want to be more aggressive in the secondary. I want to be more aggressive on defense. And he wasn't always able to go out and do that. With these moves that you have made, do these moves lend themselves to that? Do these moves lend themselves to you guys maybe looking more or playing more like you did your first year you were here?
Yeah, I would say so, Sam. I think, again, you go through a season that the expectations aren't met that we have, for this program and for the kids in it. And so when you make these moves, they're for the betterment of the program and for Michigan. And I think having the opportunity to have some more specific time where, Mal had, the whole secondary, so your fundamental and technique work maybe doesn't get as coached as well as you'd like for it to, where now I think that all will be a big part of it and allow us to play maybe some more, man coverage, some press man, some bail technique, some off man, and be a little more aggressive with what we're doing with our players in the box per se. When you look at bringing that fifth or sixth guy, so I think all that's very good, and we moved Jake to the Mike linebacker, Jake Ryan. And we did that when he's playing Sam, he's number one of your best football players instinctively. But when he's playing that Sam and you get those detached formations, it gets him away from the action at times, and just think back to the Ohio game where, we got a guy who's a pretty daggone good football player, and he's out of the box not making plays, so this will give him an opportunity to be more prolific for us.
Yeah, well, Coach, certainly it is going to be a very, very interesting spring. One of the things that you mentioned when we got a chance to sit down with you, you talked about some injuries and guys that were going to be limited. One of the guys that you said at one time he would be out, another time you said he'd be limited. I'm curious, which is it with Andre Pipkins, kind of where he stands, and any more injury updates where those guys kind of stand? Did Magnuson have his surgery? What's up with Chris Bryant right now?
Yeah, well, Chris Sam is going to take a medical. He had a shoulder surgery again. He's had the knee, and he's gonna medical, and he'll be part of the program. And it was a hard decision. It was a tough decision because he loves his teammates, he loves the game, he loves Michigan. When you look at Mags is going to be out for most of spring, but he'll start getting into some individual workout kind of settings where he's not going to get bumped around too much. His surgery went well. Jake Butt obviously is going to be out. We've got Logan Tully-Tillman had a hand surgery where a tendon was loose, so they took care of that, and we'll see where he gets back in and involved. Drake Johnson's come a long way, and he'll be able to do some things on a limited basis, but him and Darbo both are two guys who are getting back into it.
All right, so Brady, I know you got a meeting to get to, so we'll let you go. But before you do, you're going to be a judge tomorrow, man. Polar plunge.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be some people coming out there that are going to try to dress up like you. So I'm curious if you want to dress up like Brady Hoke. I mean, do you just come out with just a shirt, no sleeves, some shorts? I mean, what's the Brady Hoke costume? How do they get in your good graces?
I'm a little disappointed. It's going to be warm, because I want to really see who has the intestinal fortitude to go out there sleeveless if it would be cold, because I know you will. I'm sure you'll have a T-shirt on, and that's all. So I look forward to seeing you.
That's funny. That's very funny.
You have a nice polo on, and you'll look good.
Well, Brady, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're talking about the Polar Plunge tomorrow.
It's a great event, as you know, Sam, and for a great cause. And we look forward to being there and watching those people who are plunging. The outfits are always neat to see, but what a great event for a great cause.
All right. Well, Brady, hey, thanks for taking some time out with us this morning, and we'll see you out there tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thanks, Sam.
All right. Thanks a lot. That was Michigan head football coach Brady Hoke. Man, he said a ton.